Alright, enough of this feely, themey stuff. Let's talk about making a movie. You gotta have a camera and you gotta have stuff to point it at. That latter half in Die Hard is the responsibility of production designer Jackson Segovia, and holy cow, does he ever deliver. Watch McClane scampering through the building after the terrorists make their raid. We know from the exposition that we start on the 30th floor. Guns go off, he runs upstairs, checking in floor by floor, rattling off a mental map back to himself as he goes.
32 construction, 33 computers.
Now, for the overwhelming majority of the film's audience, this isn't going to consciously matter. McClane's just charging around a building. But rewatching for the 100th or so time, it's amazing to see how precisely the film clings to this layout. After McClane kills Tony, we know the body is going to the atrium before it gets there because the 30th floor button has been pushed. When McClane goes to the roof to radio the cops, he passes this pinup above the elevator shaft, which we see again in the ensuing firefight, letting us know that he's headed back down. This map does occasionally create continuity trouble. When McClane starts smashing windows to get Al's attention, Marco makes it from the 35th to the 31st floor suspiciously quickly. And earlier, McClane falls while dangling at the 35th floor and ends up, as we see from the terrorists pursuing him, in the 31st floor air shaft. That's quite a drop for a fingertip self-arrest. But that footage was also just an on-set screw-up that looked cool on film, and Die Hard realizes that cool matters. On the Blu-ray commentary, Segovia geeks out for a solid 5 minutes over how great these LA backdrops look, which is true, but also, there aren't any other tall buildings near Nakatomi Tower. The ambulance as a means of escape was a cool idea that the filmmakers cooked up during shooting, but it's clearly not inside their truck when they pull in. Also, they apparently didn't have time to spell check. And if the 32nd floor were an IRL construction site, it'd be a mess, with lights in the floor for some reason, despite these seemingly randomly and excessively hung ceiling fixtures. It's absolute nonsense, but makes what McTiernan calls potentially a nothing scene look amazing, and visually conveys McClane's sense of disorder as he works to scramble a plan from this scattered chaos of... Sorry, got all themey there again. Anyway, the rest of the floors are similarly unique. The Frank Lloyd Wright atrium, the clouds of whatever under the roof, modernist glass of 33, and the mahogany tones of the executive suites on floor 31. And while it is cool, it's never just cool. Here's a battered stone wall from the base of a 15th century Japanese Tenshu castle. And here's the paper and frame pattern of a Japanese shoji wall. None of this is an accident. Unrealistic as its layout may be, Floor 32 was actually a construction site, where Segovia and his team rearranged the materials to craft, in his words, a jungle. It's got your vines and everything. It's incredible to feel how well Die Hard's tactile realism has aged, especially when you consider the stop motion in the original Terminator is kind of a step down from Jason and the Argonauts 20 years earlier. While CGI has brought the ability to put literally anything on screen, an overwhelming majority of the films that employ it remain visually inferior to this 1980s classic. In the words of Segovia, if you want to see a good movie, see Die Hard. People have no idea how solid this picture is, how good it is, and it's because there is no cheating. More and more, I'm beginning to believe that that is the secret. I'm Cosmo Catalano. Until next time, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.